Hi Libra, welcome into your monthly money and career tarot reading for the month of April 2023. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading, but as we proceed, do keep in mind it is general for your month as a whole, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I more than appreciate the love and support, the likes, the comments, and of course subscriptions to the channel if you haven't done so already. But as well, don't forget to check out your other placements within your individual chart for more messages as I continue to post all 12 signs. But the overall message I got for us, because I'm a Leo, Libra, if you're new to the channel, we got all of this incredible success is leaving you with more money. More money, my friend. It feels like a very powerful month for you. And as I was getting into the Libran energy right before recording, I was kind of going like this. I feel like you're going to be in a very kind of showing off or a very showy, stepping into the spotlight kind of mood. No surprise there. But it does feel like at certain points you're going to see people drawn into your energy, your way of being, your passion, your sassiness at times, your helpful nature even. It's like, okay, I'm hearing full circle. It might feel like things are a bit full circle in one if not multiple ways, but I do feel like it's a long time coming for a lot drawn to the reading to gain this extra money. Being drawn to this reading, you might have recently experienced or rewinding back certain beginnings and endings one after the other, or just one or two that just left you a bit distraught or confused, or maybe didn't affect you as much as it once would have, or people would expect it to. But it feels like you're not settling for less all the meanwhile. I mean, it may feel like for some, there's one situation, like a living situation or a job, where it's not perfect, but you don't have that perfect opportunity yet, or you don't have the means financially to shift on forward to a new investment yet. But it does feel like this is a month where there are different levels of incredible success, one after the other. And this is leaving you and leading you towards more money. Well-deserved, okay? Well-deserved. It feels like you know what you're doing and you're doing it well. And you are, there's confidence seeping from your pores. It feels like people believe what you're saying, and they should. You could be predictive in nature. You could just be very talented. I guarantee you are in one way, shape, or form, if not multiple ways. But I do feel like there's a lot drawn to the reading who are very experienced in a field or when it comes to what you do for your business. And I feel like this, whatever you're continuing for a lot is going to expand moving forward, but it isn't the month to expand it just yet. For whatever reason, there's a sense of consistency, hard work being put in, knowing your limits all the meanwhile, knowing your worth all the meanwhile, this helping you, and knowing not to overdo it. But it feels like if you're the type like myself who's spoken through by spirit, not always, that cut and dry, that black and white, but less is more when it comes to what you produce, develop within one day, 1 week, when it comes to how much you spill out, right? How much you say, how wordy things are. But let's jump into the oracle. Sorry, that was a lot. I just pick up on Libran energy messages so quickly. The tree card, I'm getting with that moment, it's going to be a busy month. It's like you might even find oneself a bit impatient at certain points. It's like if you're walking outside or in a store, if you're at work, when you're driving, it's like, come on people, keep it moving. Libra's busy, all right? I have to get somewhere on time, or I just have a lot to get done. Look at that, financial growth coming to fruition in abundance. I do feel like a lot drawn to the reading around, I want to say the second week of April, if not the end of the first week, somewhere around there, you're gaining a new opportunity, a new door opening. If you need a job, a side gig, something of the sort, it could be you in regards to you gaining through your thoughts, or just, coming up with a creative business idea. And it's like, boom, this is going to be so successful. Spirit potentially helps you with that. But naturally, going back to the overall message, it's a month where you're seeing your savings increase, especially in the second half of the month. And you're seeing oneself, spending, because we do have emotional spending here with the heart card. But it does feel like a month where things are growing for you by the end, and that feels rewarding. But I do feel like some drawn to the reading need to maintain or bring oneself back to a positive mindset, optimistic way of viewing your finances. If you feel there's some cleaning up that needs to get done, if you just have a lot to pay for, a lot of expenses I'm getting, or things have just felt so delayed for you as far as the universe repaying you for all you've been through, all that you've had to spill your money out for. Does that make sense? Bills. I'm hearing bills. Paying your bills, doing your best to do so. But if you're one of the Libras drawn to the reading where there isn't a negative mindset coming to be, at least for the most part, when it comes to your money, well done. And this is pushing you to remember that your mindset is key and you're manifesting a lot at this time. More growth, more progress, more success, and more money. More attention for some drawn to the reading once again. And if you work online, this is very powerful and it's growing, okay? The word of mouth, people are talking about you in such a positive way. And there are some negative comments, criticism, but it feels like I'm hearing the younger crowd. Okay, I feel like this reminds me of my TikTok posts at times. It's like the younger ones are very critical. But anyways, it does feel like you are respected either way. And all the meanwhile Spirit saying, embrace, enjoy, and appreciate this abundance throughout the month of April. And abundance isn't just money, remember. It's all of what we've just been mentioning. But some of which might work outdoors or be pushed to embrace the outdoors if it's possible for comfort, a clearing of your mind. It could be a moment where you come up with a creative solution or a creative idea, that business idea for some. But I do feel like at times, say you're at work or at home, there could be certain levels of energy, your spirituality is affecting you, somebody's making noise too much, horribly put, making too much noise. And so Spirit's saying, the outdoors is your best friend. Take a stroll, right? Go on an adventure. Remember where you've escaped to at times or just went to for levels of comfort, peace, to come back to your own energy, to clear your mind. That may come in handy throughout this month. But I do feel as if you are learning more about what you're capable of, and you might have to present yourself in a very professional manner when you're, say, in an interview, and then you might be spiritually messed with in that moment. I feel like even the slip-ups throughout the month, regardless of how that looks or comes to be for you, it's still likable. A feeling of you at times needing to, and you might do this naturally, just laugh it off, right? I stumbled, oops. Spirit just messed with me, making the best out of it. And I feel like you're teaching people throughout the month, but there might be moments throughout the month where you have to tap into that student role and absorb knowledge from Spirit, from that new job or that current job you're continuing, or somebody else's work in one way, shape, or form. Again, you're going to be drawn to tarot readings, and this may help you in one way, shape, or form. Anything that keeps you or brings you back into a positive mindset, a good vibration, right? Keeping that high or bringing on back to that, keeping you or enhancing your glow. We need a lot of that, right? Even if it's just random content online or something of the sort, music, exercising, taking care of yourself. We need you to be feeling good and taking care of oneself in that sense, in those different ways that you know best for you. That work best for you. And because it's going to affect the quality of your work, it's going to affect how motivated you feel, and it's going to leave you more successful all the meanwhile. But I do feel like there's emotional spending. It's like, even if you don't realize it, there's part of you that wants to spend money on, say, a lot of groceries, or you want to spend a lot of money on getting Amazon specifically online to kind of treat oneself to certain luxuries or just extra necessities. But I do feel like this is being recommended as far as it's being recommended to cut that down, okay? I don't see you cutting out altogether, and it may not be wise to do that, as it is good to treat yourself at times. But I do feel like don't overdo it, right? Just because the money's about to flow in quite rapidly, especially again the second half of April. So I'd be interested to see how your mid-month reading comes out. Does not give you the go-ahead from the universe, and this has come up in your readings before, to go spending like crazy, all right? But I feel like some drawn to the reading have been overspending either way. You might be pushed to recognize the stability and the success that lies ahead for your business, even if you're just beginning one. But some of you, there is a family business you're thinking about. But yeah, I just feel like you being drawn to this reading, you're desiring more stability. Okay, look at me. I feel like you're going to be looking good. You're going to be seeing an adjustment in your temperature at certain points. That's Spirit. But also being reminded that you're the type of soul, type of individual that needs a job that you love, that doesn't just pay the bills, okay? And if you up until this point have, they're saying settled or just accepted a job, if not multiple, just to bring in the money, so be it. Nobody's judging you, and or they just shouldn't be, because that's life. You need money, you need to pay the bills, you need to take care of yourself and potentially your loved ones. But I just feel like you're being reminded that you deserve more fulfillment. You could be a very, very helpful soul being drawn to this reading, and that might tie into your work or what you're feeling, the inclination, the guidance to step towards embracing a new career shift, potentially. Bear with me. A sense of you needing to, at certain points, clear your voice and get that out there into the universe. If you're on social media, I do feel like this is going to be helping you do just that, but it might be in a public situation, doing some public speaking. It could be in a meeting or two, expressing your concerns or your outlook on the work environment. But I do feel like you are making an immense amount of progress throughout the month, and this feels great. People are proud of you. People are seeing you as a star. Yeah, look at this, star in the making. Beautiful. Just got a little bit confused for a second. But I do feel like this is also tying into your good looks, your personality, your energy, okay? There are going to be moments, it reminds me when I do these readings, when you produce or develop something, when you're in the moment and it feels a bit more, I want to say anxious due to where you are or who's surrounding you or both, or potentially whose energy you're picking up on. But then you watch that content back, or you just kind of get someone else's respect in regards to whatever that was for you, or just their feedback, and it wasn't being perceived in the way you were feeling, okay? Just keep that in mind. But unexpected income, but I'm hearing energy is everything. There's true levels of unexpected income throughout the month, and this just feels amazing. It feels needed, and it feels like, again, a lot drawn to the reading. I'm hearing a lot coming to me, spiritually, energy-wise, attention, money, but it feels like a lot drawn to the reading, once again, a long time coming. But you're manifesting success and feeling quite accomplished, to say the very least. And keep in mind, again, your Libran mindset, manifesting like no other. And this just reminds you how powerful you truly are as a soul, what you're capable of, and how much more you can manifest moving forward. Okay, let's pull some tarot. I'm hearing on a roll. I feel like you're, again, very busy creating more work for oneself. You're going to find it very difficult to say no to extra work because you want the money, because you become hungry for it, because it feels necessary in regards to, out of respect for one, if not multiple, important financial goals you're setting throughout the month or already have set in place. I feel like some of which need to work towards successfully moving to a new place of residence, or it could be more in regards to a new car you need, or both. I do feel like either way, you're being reminded you just deserve and desire that stability, that comfort financially moving forward. It feels like you're in a stage where of your life where you're not really checking the price tag per se, or you are, but it's not going to prevent you either way from purchasing it. But Spirit's saying this is because you're meant to be wealthy moving forward. It's just written in the stars for you as a Libra being drawn to this reading. And so you're meant to live a lifestyle at a certain point where your success, your financial income explodes in a positive sense, right? Snowballs to your benefit, that you just can live the lifestyle you're meant to and not check price tags anymore. Amazing. But what else do we have for Libra? Okay, the King of Pentacles. I do feel like they came out in reverse, and I feel like there are moments in the month where you do feel this lack of groundedness, lack of connection to nature, but I do feel like you, for the most part, will do what you need to bring it on back to that grounded way of being. And I just feel like if you look at that fruitful imagery, you're reaping the rewards, the fruits of your labor. It feels like things are just feeling very abundant, very prosperous. They're saying going from a level of manifesting to abundance to prosperity. Amazing. It just feels like you are getting things done left and right and being realistic for the most part. And this is key for you. I mean, come on, look at this. The Knight of Pentacles, the Magician card, and the Six of Wands. So a level of you, again, magically manifesting everything you need and desire at this time and moving forward. In Spirit saying, say it's a new door opening for you. the space in between the two opportunities, or just until you see that door opening or something succeeding now more so these days, that time in between, or just up until whatever it is for you, purposeful. You need to recognize that everything's coming to be and coming to an end when and how it's meant to. It feels like there's spiritual protection. If you left a job sporadically, just randomly, you just were, even if you had just begun it, if you left a job or multiple rewinding back, you were on point. You were trusting your intuition in that sense, in that moment, excuse me. It potentially was making you nervous, uncomfortable, and stripping away the shine, the glow, the light about you as a Libra. You were trusting your intuition more so at that point than you were when you accepted that position or you chose to continue it, okay? And it feels like this is just reminding you to look within for the answers, to trust your spiritual guidance and discard the spiritual messing with when need be. But it feels like all the meanwhile, there's true levels of victory that you deserve, a sense of you feeling very motivated for the most part. You succeed here, damn, I'm good. Feeling motivated to get something else done. At the times when you have a set amount that you're going to accomplish, say it's in the beginning half of the day or whatever the case may be for you, and then you accomplish that and you feel good and you feel motivated to get something else done, go for it. Because this is a moment where your system, potentially your intuition, your spiritualities, your spirit guides, I want to say, or one random one, is pushing you to do this at that time for a reason. The energy is better in that situation. Things are just correct for that to get done, where at a different point, potentially not, or not as much. However that looks for you, it reminds me of me doing these readings, but it does feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like you are sort of in this a bit of impatient mindset at times, having to balance things out, manage things quite efficiently. Things are going to get even busier when it comes to the upcoming months, May, June, July, and moving forward. So enjoy the simplicity at certain points throughout the month. Any downtime needs to be embraced for healing, but it feels like there's a comfortable pace for you for the most part, not rushing, or even when you feel like you're rushing, you're kind of moving slowly. Does that make sense? It's like I gave myself enough time, so I'm just gonna not arrive to that job or that meeting of importance in a stressful mindset or having that stressful energy. Perfect. It's going to help, okay? It's going to help immensely. But let's keep pulling. You might have very angelic energy, at least the majority of the month being drawn to this reading. I'm seeing that as a halo, but being reminded the possibilities are endless for you at this time and moving forward. And I just feel like, look at this, reminds me of me at the beginning of the reading, feeling quite showy in this, adding to whatever you are succeeding at. I just heard, I love Libra. I love Libra. You're going to get even better at doing something moving forward, even if you feel like you've mastered it for the most part or fully. There's always growth, expansion, improvement. And I feel like there's different skill sets that you're gaining moving forward, one in particular being highlighted throughout the month, that is going to leave you even more successful. 555, change, my friend. Go ahead and look up the angel number meaning if you so choose. But the Chariot card talking about you representing balance, needing to maintain that or bring it on back when certain outside factors or what you just accomplished strips that away from you, or at least partially. We need you to be feeling balanced, okay, with these Sphinx here, but feeling motivated once again. And I'm being shown the Emperor card to produce, develop, to succeed more, to impress people, impress yourself through it all, and to make more money. The money is going to explode for you moving forward in a positive sense. The Queen of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. I just feel like people are connected to your energy, your way of being, your work, people coming back around, people now just seeing your online content or noticing how successfully you're meant to be at that job or multiple. Or discovering you in regards to you being welcomed aboard for this new position. However it looks for you, it just feels like people are connecting with you quite nicely, and this is helping you. But I do feel like if there's a meeting of importance, once again, this will go in your favor if you so choose to intuitively take that opportunity on, add it to your plate. But you might be meeting a new friend or just meeting new people at work and or at home. I do feel like there's at times a bit of a celebrity vibe about you, going back to the star in the making. Even if this doesn't feel very tied into your situation, you're kind of carrying oneself in that way, and this is leaving you more successful all the meanwhile. But the Seven of Cups may talk about you at the beginning of the month or around that point, looking into a new opportunity and having a lot of options, but not really digging most of which. So being a bit picky at this point, but you'll just feel it when it's right for you. And it won't feel difficult to see that door open for you, or to get through the beginning stages of whatever that is for you. Say you start a job, it shouldn't feel ultra difficult to get through the training and all these tests and stuff of that nature. Reminds me of a job that I started and quit not too long ago, but I also feel like with the Seven of Cups, a lot too passionately with the Queen of Wands, create, develop, accomplish. It just feels like you have a lot on your plate. But it again feels like you're embracing this with a level of confidence and, for the most part, ease, strolling towards whatever you need to get to, accomplishing what you need to in a productive manner. And this is going to leave you feeling more grounded, at least for the most part. One or two more before we wrap this up. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles from the Light Series deck, something you're watering, have been or choosing to throughout this month, is growing, prospering, and leaving you with more fruits of your labor. Even if you're not in the mood to get things done at certain points throughout the month, I feel you still will. I'm also hearing climbing up the ladder, okay? Climbing up the ladder, whether that's for you, for your business, it could be more in regards to the corporate ladder for some or within that specific company. I do feel like there's a promotion and or a raise on the horizon for some drawn to the reading. But to wrap this up, it's a very successful month where, again, a lot are having a new passionate fresh start, even if this is within an existing continuing situation, but it could be this new door opening for you, which feels quite necessary. It's a month where you're, again, succeeding left and right, and Spirit's saying all of this incredible success is leaving you with more money. Beautiful. All right. So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your month, and I'll definitely see you next time.